All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who, I think it was an up and down day for him. I don't think this was a disastrous day just because his team lost. I also don't think it was a perfect day. He did have some mistakes and some really good plays. So I want to talk about it all, the good and the bad here for Baker Mayfield. Yeah, let's just get into it. Let's start off with this play. This is, a key one here as, Tampa Bay gets the big 3 and out, but, on defense. But then they're in this situation where it's a 3rd down and 17, not looking great, but you don't want to just give up either. So you see Evans' route. Again, just a 3-man rush here. Detroit is making sure they don't give up a big chunk play. Baker's going to take the snap. He's going to fire this one towards Evans. Really well timed. I mean, it's going to be a completion. Again, I don't know if it's going to get you a lot here, but this is a good throw by Baker Mayfield. But Evans drops it, which is becoming a trend with him. And it's actually, because of course it is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I mean, talk about, storylines. And really, I mean, it just, the ball happened to get batted up and he caught it. But you do have to give him credit for, taking advantage of the opportunity when it presents itself. It is a little funny, his comments were, hey, with the weapons Tampa Bay has, if they had a good quarterback, they'd be way better than they are. Well, there is some twisted irony in the fact that he gets an interception off of a good play by the quarterback, but a bad play by the weapon. Also, he threw the ball to Baker Mayfield. But you're wondering, okay, after that, is that going to give you a pissed off Baker Mayfield? Is he going to start to, throw the ball all the way down the field? Well, no, the Bucs offense still wasn't really getting anything going. This play was a key one. I mean, a couple of these just, really, Detroit did a great job at scheming up pressure, getting Tampa Bay off their game. Tampa Bay has a specific way they like to play, so if you can disrupt things, that's what they're going to try and do on a play like this, where it's going to be, they're going to have a player who's going to blitz in off the edge. That's what's going to happen right here. And so for Tampa Bay, who's supposed to pick up this pressure? Rachaad White would be the guy who picks up the pressure. Now, it is going to be a play action, so it's not like he can just run over there, but still, that's what he, would have to do. Watch as when Mayfield runs this play action. I mean, really, White's in relatively good position to try and make a play. The issue, White is going to stumble and fall. Maybe it just happened a bit too quick. Branch does a good job of being able to bring Mayfield down and gets there so quickly that they are able to, in fact, make the play and get a sack, and that turns a 1st and 10 into a 2nd and 19. Tampa Bay tried a wide receiver screen that didn't work out, and then had to run the ball to just get back in the field goal range and kick the field goal. So that killed that drive right there. So sometimes it's not about winning every play, but winning key plays and getting the splash plays. That's what Detroit's defense has done a great job of doing all season long, really. Even in the games where they've given up points, they've still been able to hit plays like this, these splash plays. But also this play, this wasn't a great one by Mayfield. So it's going to be man coverage that the Lions are in. They're going to be blitzing on this play, and you can tell they're blitzing, right? They're not really hiding it. At least they're showing us that it could be setting pressure. Granted, they could be dropping out, but, pressure makes sense here, 3rd down and 5. And I mean, Tampa Bay has one-on-one matchups. Godwin has a one-on-one matchup. Evans is one-on-one on Sutton on the outside. So, Detroit's kind of saying, hey, everyone thinks this is the weakness for us, but we're going to, see what we can do. However, Mayfield, he's just going to miss the throw right here. I mean, no getting around it. That's just a high throw. You got to give Godwin a chance. I don't know if Godwin makes the catch or not. That was good coverage. Again, got to give credit to Detroit for not making it easy on him. At the same time, though, for Baker, and again, there was an unblocked man due to the pressure. Baker had to throw it a little bit earlier than he would have wanted, but still, that's part of the blitz, right? Like, that's kind of the schematic thing. You have to give your receiver a chance, and he just didn't. But that brings us to here where, it was a weird drive where Tampa Bay was really backed up. They were at their own 7-yard line to start this drive with 1.5 minutes left. And it took them about a minute to get to this spot because there was kind of a weird thing where what looked to be a 1st down was ruled 3rd and short. So they kind of were in a weird spot where they couldn't just completely go out because you don't want to get stopped and then allow Detroit to get a drive going. So kind of a weird spot. They do convert, though. They get to this spot, 35 seconds left and 2 timeouts. You're thinking field goal. That's what you're thinking if you're Tampa Bay. You're trying to get in field goal range. But watch Mike Evans here and really watch the corner who's going to be trying to cover him on this play. It's really kind of a not great job, I would say. Watch as when this play begins. I think that was Sutton kind of tried to, jam him at the line, really whiffed on it. And then because of that, Baker reads it, hits it to Evans. And Evans could just step out of bounds here, right? Get to the 40-yard line. You still have about 30 seconds left and 2 timeouts. But Evans is going to take a chance. And again, part of me wonders if part of this is, yes, you want to get a touchdown. That's awesome. But you also just want to make sure you get in field goal range. And with how aggressive the corner is currently playing this, the safety is currently playing this, Melifonwu, trying to get, basically assuming that Evans is going to run out of bounds. Evans takes the chance. He cuts back. He's able to break the tackle, because if he didn't, then, they only gain an extra yard or two and end up, having to burn a timeout. But because of that, they gain an extra 10 yards, and he still gets out of bounds, so they saved a timeout. Big gamble there, but sometimes in a big game, you have to take a chance, and that's what Evans did. And then here, so this is going to be there's one-on-one matchups across the board. It's a cover 2-man, so it's not really like they're just giving Evans a one-on-one shot on the outside like we had seen in previous situations, just because, again, game situation, right? There's 27 seconds left. You don't want to give it all up here. Tampa Bay's already in field goal range, that kind of stuff. However, when Baker takes the snap, look at, again, it's Melifonwu. I believe that's the number. It looked like it was 6, and he was playing earlier, so I'm assuming it was Melifonwu who is playing here. He's not getting as far to the sideline as possible, which, in some situations, I think you could argue makes sense. Hey, the odds of them taking a shot maybe don't seem to be too high. Possible, but not something that you would certainly say is the case, because again, you could throw over the middle, you have 2 timeouts, and get a big chunk play that way if it's available. So you have to pay attention to that stuff for sure. At the same time, though, Mike Evans is the only receiver on that side of the field, and he's outside the numbers. I'm sorry, he's the guy you got to be paying attention to. Baker is going to throw it up. He says, yeah, one-on-one, let me take this chance. And really a beautiful throw from Baker and a great catch from Evans against good coverage. That was good coverage by Sutton. I don't really have an issue with how Sutton played that. Melifonwu was screwed up, in my opinion. But, really good job by Mayfield. And again, I'm saying that's a screw up. It's possible that was a robber concept, and he just didn't get very far over towards the middle. But if that's a robber concept, that's a terrible play call. I don't think so. I think it was just Melifonwu didn't get as far over towards this sideline as possible. And credit to Evans and Baker for making them pay, as they did get a touchdown later on after there was a penalty, but then it got picked up. And I looked at it. It was the correct call to pick it up. It was not a penalty, was not past 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, and that tied things up in a game that was all Detroit for the first half up until that point. This was a great play call as well by Tampa Bay, where what's going to happen is so here's the situation. And in many ways, this is a Mike Evans situation, where what's going to happen is it's man coverage, and it's not an all-out blitz. It's a cover 1 play, but the safety is so far over towards the offense's left. And it's not just Evans. It's, Chris Godwin's also out there. You have, actually all 3 receivers who are on the field on this play are out towards the left. So the safety isn't even thinking about the right side of the field. So you got some one-on-one matchups on that side of the field on a 3rd and 10 if you want it. Watching this play live, I'm saying go up one-on-one to Cade Otton, but they have a different idea. Watch as when Mayfield takes the snap, he flips the ball to White, and right here, really, there's a guy who's covering White, but all you have to do is send one offensive lineman out to block him, and everyone else is accounted for. There's no one else on that side of the field, as long as Otton, who is a tight end, is also being able to make the play. As you see, everyone makes their blocks, and White's so fast, he is able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Great stuff there by Tampa Bay, after they gave up a touchdown to march right down the field and score a touchdown. Now, not such a good job letting them score a touchdown right back on the other drive, but, at least a good drive on this one for Tampa Bay. This play, of course, kept them back in the game when they were, down 14 points, 4th and 14. Technically not over if you don't convert, but let's be honest, it's over if you don't convert. And Detroit's sending the house right here. They're going with an all-out pressure, and Mayfield is going to be the one who makes a play here. Watch as Baker takes the snap. You're going to see pressure comes, but he's able to get outside the pocket. Pause it here. He's able to get to here. This is exactly where he wanted to be. Watch him get the ball down the field to Mike Evans, who, again, looked like there maybe even a pick play thing going on. I wasn't sure exactly what happened there, but either way, Evans is able to get wide open on that play. Great stuff from Evans, but also, great stuff from Mayfield to make something happen, to extend the play. Evans then, got the touchdown a little bit later. Couldn't get the 2-point conversion, which you were wondering if that was going to matter. It ultimately did not. Because of this play, it's zone coverage. Cade Otton is going to be the one running over the middle, and it's a pressure here for the Lions. They're going to be sending 5 on this play. It's actually funny. In my Goff video, I kind of mentioned, hey, Tampa Bay doing this kind of coverage. Don't see this too often. Well, now the Lions are doing it, interestingly enough. Watch as when Mayfield takes the snap. Again, you can see why. So it's Derek Barnes and Cade Otton. Those are the 2 key players right here, and you can see why Mayfield wants to take this chance. it's basically him just hoping that Barnes doesn't make a great play, right? Barnes could make a good play, and if he makes a good play, you're probably getting a completion right here. So is that the right chance to take here? Debatably, but I'm not going to be as, I'm rarely as critical on these kind of situations as some people would be. You're down 8 points. You got to make something happen. Don't get me wrong. I still think I would say this is not the right throw here, but I understand why he's doing it. As you see, he takes the chance, but Barnes, I mean, that's just a great play. And sometimes we don't give enough credit to the defenders for getting the interception, right? An interception is always a bad play by the quarterback. Well, that's not true. Sometimes an interception is a good play by a defender, like what happened here. Good stuff by Barnes. Definitely an error, though, by Mayfield.